and it's not Mount Sinai, by the way. But she said, oh, that's Mount Sinai. Okay, yes, ma'am. And so they call it they still call it Mount Sinai. There's still a monastery there. It's not in Sinai Peninsula. It's in Arabia. Read Galatians 4. But they're in this trash can in this old monastery. This guy was visiting. He said, what's this old scroll? He said, oh, we don't know. It's been in there for years. You know. He pulled it out. It was a copy of the Bible, if you can call it that, from 380 or 350 A.D. And so that one's called Sinaiticus. Well, these three scrolls do not agree with each other on anything, nor do they agree with the real Bible. Okay, they're all different. The Catholics, or the monks, translated these three ancient scrolls into Latin centuries ago, and it became known as the Latin Vulgate. Vulgate for vulgar means the common language. Okay. Then the Catholic, by the way, the Latin Vulgate was a really good translation of a bad book. Then the Catholics came along in 1582 and translated the Latin Vulgate into English with the Douay Confraternity or the Douay-Rheims version of the Bible. And that was a really good translation of a bad book. Then two guys named Westcott and Hort came along. I've got their book here someplace on the table. Westcott and Hort came along, and they were going to make a new, here we go, the Westcott-Hort Only Controversy. A little bitty booklet about, if you want to study this, just $2 from our ministry. Westcott and Hort were two Greek scholars. I don't know if they were even Christian or not. They probably claimed that they were, like a lot of people do. Okay? But they took these three old ancient manuscripts. They didn't agree with each other, but their thinking was, these are older, therefore they are better.
Known by Lincoln Park.
When Marines join the Marine Corps, they're joining an organization that has thousands of predecessors who built a reputation. We're the toughest, most feared force in the world. And we don't surrender that reputation except at our own peril. The reason nobody wants to fight us on the battlefield is because they know our reputation, whether it be Belleau Wood or Iwo Jima. They know what we're like. And so you don't want to surrender that reputation. Every Marine who comes in the Marine Corps, every single one of us, must leave the Marine Corps in as good a condition or better than we received it. And your own personal behavior is often what is going to set that reputation, for better or worse. And no Marine has the right to reduce our reputation. We must all work together, look out for one another, and keep each other on the right path to strengthen that reputation of no better friend, no worse enemy. That's what we're all about.
Or the seeing or the blind, have not I the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say. You know, God empowers us. He enables us to carry out His will for our lives. You know, when we fall short of accomplishing what God has set before us, it's not because that God failed in some way to provide the necessary training or the necessary equipment for us. Instead, the failure is usually a result of an obstacle within our heart or within our mind, an attitude that kind of short-circuits our faith. And because of that, the flow of God's power is hindered. And we don't become the person that God desires us to become. We don't become what God created us to become. Moses. It's a great illustration of a very potential damaging faith barrier. I mean, think about it. Moses is called to one of the greatest missions in all Scripture.
Chief, the bird may give you scalp treatment.
Oh, no, Chiefy. Me give you scalp treatment.
I want you for to give me the whole works, Figaro.
Okie dokie.
Remove the hat, dope.
Numbers of dollars.
Okay.
You know,
so $10, $20, and
$10,
of course,
$20, maybe even high single digits.
Of course,
right.
We have Moore's Law on our side, so if we can't afford one today, we just stay alive.
I'm planning on riding that curve a few more times. So.
It's happened.
Absolutely.
I remember Steve Wozniak showed me his dye sublimation color printer, and it cost $45,000, and today a $70 printer is a better printer. So
yeah, exactly.
You know, just stay alive
exactly.
if you need to afford. But these are very cheap and getting cheaper.
Yep.
So
lots of things we've been playing with them,
Yeah.
like you say, very cheap, getting cheaper. Whether or not they actually sit there in a separate form or they get embedded into something else that is, that's around.
Well, the Nest thermostat, I think, has one. Or
Totally.
So, you know.
I believe the Nest thermostat has one. You know, I have a Bluetooth low energy heart rate beacon. You could imagine putting it right in the faceplate for the light switches or something, and you just screw one in any room that you want it, and it's a couple extra bucks. You know, a couple of generations out.
Yep.
And all the interesting things you can do with it. So that's the idea of using, I guess I would call it, fixed sensors to provide more context on where you are. You put a little microphone in there and such, and a couple of things go on. Number one, when I walk into a room with my wearable technology, probably a headset. Well,
Dupę. Oddawaj hajs, ciulu. Weszliście na krzywy ryj. A, no tak.
$100 a day. Think of all the people we could help with all the people.
McCall, and then you take their money. Okay. All right, well, boys, you have the right instinct. You see, selling magazines is serious business. If we spend too much time laughing on the job...
Number one. Me. You dumbass. Sometimes they show boob. Me.
Let's get right down to it.
Okay, class. Today we're going to for the class. Compose a haiku for the... Your block? Okay.
Esas pavas todavía viven en Highland. Porque molaría. ¿Queréis ver algo que mola de verdad?
You need money for the meter, money for the toll. Don't turn on the heater, daddy's on the dole. They tell me that the devil pays good money for your soul. We don't got no dough. Tell me there's $1 in the pocket of your jeans. Need money for the baby, the bacon and the beans. I'd buy you a dozen roses, but I just don't have the means. Don't got no dough. Sorry, Mr. Landlord, I cannot pay the rent. Run down to the bank and ask them where my money went. Then come back and tell me just who overspent. Mister, let me tell you, I blame the government. We don't